In the vast expanse of cinema history, few debates have captured the public's imagination, quite like the question of whether Jack Dawson, played by Leonardo DiCaprio in James Cameron's epic romance Titanic, could have survived by sharing a floating door with Rose DeWitt Bukater, portrayed by Kate Winslet. This single cinematic moment, lasting mere minutes, has sparked a fervor of speculation, scientific inquiry, and cultural commentary since the film's release in 1997. But what is it about this scene, set against the backdrop of one of the most infamous maritime disasters, that has kept audiences questioning for decades? To uncover the roots of this debate, we must first journey back to the fateful night of April 14, 1912. The RMS Titanic, a marvel of early 20th century engineering, was on its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York City when disaster struck. At 11:40 p.m., the ship collided with an iceberg, setting off a chain of events that would lead to its sinking in the early hours of April 15th. Over 1,500 passengers and crew would lose their lives in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. This tragedy, both shocking and profoundly affecting, served as the somber backdrop for Cameron's film, which sought to weave a fictional love story into the tapestry of historical events. Cameron's vision for Titanic was grandiose, aiming to not only recreate the ship with painstaking detail, but also to evoke the emotional depth of human experience amidst catastrophe. In crafting the narrative of Jack and Rose, Cameron focused on themes of love, class struggle, and sacrifice. The iconic scene where Jack and Rose cling to a piece of debris following the ship's sinking is one of the film's most poignant moments, symbolizing not just their struggle for survival, but also the ultimate sacrifice of love. The door, which many argue was actually a piece of ornate wooden paneling, became a symbol of this sacrifice. In the film, Rose survives by lying atop the debris while Jack stays in the frigid water, ultimately succumbing to hypothermia. However, audiences around the world have questioned whether this tragic end was necessary. Could Jack have fit alongside Rose? Was there enough buoyancy to support them both? These questions have fueled endless discussions, memes, and even scientific investigations. In 2012, the popular television show Mythbusters took on the challenge with their characteristic blend of humor and scientific rigor. Hosts Jamie Hyneman and Adam Savage reconstructed the scenario, testing the buoyancy of a similar wooden panel. Their experiments suggested that with a few adjustments, such as tying Rose's life jacket underneath for additional buoyancy, both Jack and Rose could have remained afloat safely. This revelation added fuel to the fire, bolstering the argument that Jack's death was, perhaps, avoidable. Yet the debate is not solely rooted in physics. It touches on deeper themes of narrative necessity and artistic license. James Cameron, when confronted with the door debate, has often defended his creative choice, explaining that Jack's death was essential to the emotional impact of the story. In an interview, Cameron stated, "Had he lived, the ending of the film would have been meaningless. Jack had to die." This perspective highlights the tension between scientific plausibility and storytelling. In the realm of cinema, where does one draw the line between reality and the demands of narrative? Interestingly, the debate has crossed into the realm of academia, with scholars analyzing the scene from various angles. Some have looked at it through the lens of literary symbolism, considering the door as a metaphor for the barriers between life and death, love and loss. Others have examined it from a socio-cultural perspective, discussing how the scene reflects societal views on heroism, sacrifice, and the romantic ideal. Moreover, the door debate illustrates the power of modern media to engage audiences in shared experiences and discussions. In an age of digital connectivity, where information and opinions are exchanged at lightning speed, the debate serves as a testament to how a single moment in film can transcend its medium, becoming a cultural touchstone. Social media platforms have amplified this, allowing fans to voice their theories, create content, and even engage directly with the creators involved. As we delve further into this multifaceted debate, it becomes clear that the question of Jack's survival is not just about physics or film, it's about the intersection of art, science, and society. What keeps people returning to this moment in Titanic is not just the question of whether Jack could have fit on the door, but what that question represents. It is a conversation that continues to evolve, reflecting the changing tides of public opinion and the enduring power of storytelling. As we continue to navigate the intricacies of this enduring debate, it's important to consider the technological and scientific advancements that have allowed us to scrutinize the scene with such precision. Advances in computer modeling and physics simulations have provided new tools for both amateur sleuths and professionals to analyze whether Jack could have indeed survived. These technologies enable the recreation of buoyant forces, density considerations, and even the human body's response to hypothermia in icy waters. One fascinating aspect of this debate is the role of material science in determining the door's buoyancy. In the film, the piece of debris appears to be wooden, and historically, the Titanic was lavishly appointed with wooden paneling and fixtures. The type of wood used in such luxury liners often varied, ranging from oak to mahogany, each with distinct buoyancy characteristics. Oak, dense and sturdy, would offer less buoyant support compared to lighter woods, which could have implications on whether the debris could support the weight of two individuals. Another factor to consider is the historical accounts of survival in the icy Atlantic. Contemporary reports from Titanic survivors provide chilling testimonies of the conditions in the water. The ocean temperature that night was roughly 28 degrees Fahrenheit, below freezing. In such conditions, hypothermia can set in within minutes, drastically reducing a person's chances of survival. Jack's fate was as much a function of the environment as it was of the available floating debris. In examining the debate, it's also worth noting the cultural impact that Titanic has had on both audiences and the film industry. The movie, which won 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, became a global phenomenon, cementing its place in cinematic history. Its success was driven not only by its epic love story and groundbreaking special effects, but also by its meticulous attention to historical detail. This authenticity, combined with the film's emotional depth, ensured that audiences would remain invested in its narrative long after the credits rolled. The character of Jack Dawson himself has become emblematic of the romantic hero archetype, a figure willing to sacrifice everything for love. This portrayal resonates with audiences, perhaps explaining why so many are invested in the idea of his survival. Jack's selflessness and unwavering devotion to Rose elevate him from a mere character to a symbol of idealized love. This makes the debate about his potential survival all the more poignant. The public's fascination with the door debate has also transcended into various forms of media and entertainment. Online forums such as Reddit host extensive discussions where users meticulously analyze every frame of the film. Often, they employ mathematical equations and physics principles to support their theories. Numerous YouTube channels have dedicated videos dissecting the scene, complete with reenactments and expert interviews. Even mainstream entertainment shows have parodied the moment, adding an element of humor to the mix. This demonstrates its cultural permeation. In academia, the debate has prompted interdisciplinary studies combining film theory, physics, and psychology. Scholars have explored how audience perceptions of realism and fairness influence their engagement with fictional narratives. In the case of Titanic, the tension between the audience's desire for a happy ending and the film's tragic conclusion illustrates the complexity of storytelling. Moreover, the debate invites reflection on broader themes related to human nature and decision-making under duress. In moments of crisis, humans often face impossible choices. The scene between Jack and Rose encapsulates this dilemma. The decision of who survives and who sacrifices becomes a microcosm of the human condition. This narrative resonates beyond the confines of the screen. As we delve deeper into the nuances of this debate, we find that it serves as a bridge between historical fact and creative fiction. The sinking of the Titanic was a real and devastating event. Yet Titanic, the film, uses this backdrop to explore universal themes of love, loss, and sacrifice. This blend of history and narrative fiction is what makes the debate so captivating. It invites us to question not just what happened, but what might have been. The conversation surrounding Jack and the door continues to evolve. It is driven by a mix of curiosity, nostalgia, and the ever-present wonder of storytelling. As we peel back the layers of this cinematic conundrum, we are reminded that sometimes the questions are as intriguing as the answers. The stories we tell are as powerful as the truths they explore. The door, in all its symbolic and literal forms, remains open. It invites us to look through and ponder the possibilities. As we journey further into the depths of the Titanic door debate, we encounter a fascinating interplay between art and science. Each offers its perspective on this simple yet complex question. Beyond the scientific analyses and cultural discussions, the debate has become an intriguing case study. It shows how audiences engage with fictional narratives. The blending of historical events with fictional elements in Titanic allows viewers to project their interpretations and emotions onto the story. This sparks discussions that transcend the film itself. The ongoing discourse surrounding Jack's fate has not only captivated audiences, but also inspired creative expressions across various mediums. Artists, filmmakers, and writers have explored alternate endings and scenarios, imagining worlds where Jack survives. These creative endeavors underscore the power of storytelling to ignite the imagination. They encourage audiences to envision different possibilities and outcomes. One notable exploration of this idea came from the world of fan fiction. Writers have crafted countless versions of the story, reimagining the lives of Jack and Rose beyond the film's tragic ending. These narratives often delve into themes of second chances, hope, and resilience. They reflect the enduring appeal of these characters and their story. This phenomenon highlights the participatory nature of modern media. Audiences are not just passive consumers, but active contributors to the narrative landscape. In addition to fan fiction, the debate has inspired a range of artistic projects. From visual art to theater productions, artists have depicted the scene in various styles, each capturing a unique interpretation of Jack and Rose's predicament. These works often emphasize the emotional core of the moment. They explore themes of love, sacrifice, and the human struggle against the inevitable. The diversity of these artistic expressions speaks to the universal resonance of the story. It transcends the boundaries of the original film. The debate has also found its way into educational settings. It serves as a tool for teaching critical thinking and problem solving. In physics classrooms, the scenario provides a practical example for students to apply principles of buoyancy, force, and equilibrium. By analyzing the scene, students learn to question assumptions, test hypotheses, and arrive at reasoned conclusions. This educational application demonstrates how popular culture can be harnessed to engage students in scientific inquiry. It makes learning both relevant and enjoyable. Furthermore, the discussion surrounding Jack and the Door has sparked conversations about the broader themes of survival and sacrifice in times of crisis. Historians and social scientists have examined how these themes resonate with real-life events. They draw parallels between the Titanic disaster and other historical instances where individuals face life-and-death decisions. Through this lens, the debate becomes a reflection on human behavior and the moral dilemmas that arise in extreme circumstances. In exploring the cultural and social dimensions of the debate, we encounter the enduring appeal of heroism and selflessness. Jack's decision to sacrifice himself for Rose embodies the ideal of the selfless hero. This archetype resonates across cultures, reflecting a deep-seated admiration for those who put others before themselves. The debate about Jack's survival thus taps into a universal narrative about the nature of heroism. The conversation around Titanic and the Door scene continues to evolve in the digital age. Social media platforms provide a space for ongoing dialogue and debate. The hashtag Jack could have fit trends periodically, reigniting discussions. This digital engagement exemplifies the power of social media to sustain interest in cultural phenomena. It allows ideas to circulate and evolve in real time. As we reach the conclusion of our exploration, it becomes evident that the Titanic Door debate is more than just a question of physics or cinematic choice. It is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling. The debate encapsulates the intersection of art, science, and culture. It invites us to ponder not only what might have been, but also what the story means to each of us. In the end, the question of whether Jack could have fit on the door remains an open invitation,